Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this hotel review. I've been a global luxury hotel reviewer for over 2 decades. My passion for the 5-star hotel industry stems from its dynamic nature, much like the world of theatre, with its blend of front-of-house elegance and behind-the-scenes precision. For most of our reviews, we're invited for a 3-night stay, but importantly, hotels or their public relations teams have no input in shaping our reviews. And like you, only see a review once it's published. We highly value your feedback on our reviews and encourage you to share your thoughts below the review.
Hi guys, this is a review of COMO Metropolitan Hotel in London. I recently stayed there in winter in the UK with my 18-year-old daughter Stella, and we had a fantastic time. The first thing that really overwhelmed me about this hotel is how light it is. It faces Hyde Park, so it's just with these huge glass windows when you walk in, so it's absolutely very lit. And the second thing that welcomes you as soon as you walk in is the signature fragrance of COMO hotels globally, which is kind of a crisp mix of eucalyptus and peppermint. And for anyone who's a COMO fan like myself, this is instantly recognizable. And it really is lovely to come sort of home when you stay somewhere new to that familiar scent. And, the park across the road, it's on Park Lane, and Hyde Park across the road is 350 acres. So that offers a beautiful place, even in winter, to run up in the morning or afternoon and go for a long walk. And it's in an incredible location. There are so many shops. It's right on the edge of Mayfair. So it took us about 15 minutes to get to Bond Street Station, right in the thick of Oxford Street, where Selfridges and all of the shops are that you could possibly want. So my daughter certainly enjoyed that side of the hotel. And there's a lot of other luxury hotels around it. So if you do want to, eat at other properties or go and just explore, particularly in winter, it's nice to have other locations to go to that aren't very far, so you don't have to get an Uber, because walking really long distances just can be really, really cold. As I said, the location is excellent. Your steps from 3 parks, Hyde Park, Green Park and St. James, plus the Serpentine Gallery is really close, Buckingham Palace, and the high-end stores of Bond Street and Piccadilly Circus. So it's really interesting because the location is fairly low-key, but you're just steps from the energy and the frenetic pace of high-end shopping right throughout London. You get warm towels as you check in, which is just lovely. And again, with that beautiful COMO fragrance. Staff greet you by name, as you'd expect, I guess, now in a 5-star luxury hotel. And the lobby is very modern and seamless. So it's uncluttered, it's elegant. The feel is minimalistic. It's not flashy. But this is certainly a hotel where a lot of celebrities flock and have done in the past. Some reviews say that it is dated. It's a little bit dated, but it's not dated to the point where you wouldn't stay there at all. I think because when you've got a lot of natural light and neutral tones, even if it's slightly dated, it still feels fresh. There are 140 rooms and suites, and again, they're flooded with natural daylight through huge windows. Again, this is probably for me the biggest plus of the hotel, especially in winter, because a lot of luxury hotels in London have that old world feel, which is one thing. This is not that. This is modern, cleaned, fresh, amazing for jet lag. We actually arrived there after flying from Australia. So that natural light was really, really welcome to just click the body clock over as fast as possible into the UK time. And our room was on the first floor, which really was a sanctuary. It was a park suite, which was 2 separate rooms. And it was accented by sunny yellows and gentle walnut sort of tones. Again, really peaceful, massive king bed, 400 brick couch sheets, which of course are just so luxurious and, welcoming. Excellent climate control, lighting, drapes, so we could really black out the windows. Again, read that jet lag issue. And the 2 rooms is really great when you're a couple, because you can actually, if one wakes up in the middle of the night, which does happen with jet lag, you can sort of get away from each other and give each other your space. There was certainly plenty of room for our clothes, which we had a gazillion of, because we were 2 women traveling together, my mother and daughter. Big screens to stream movies, which my daughter loved. Music and yoga. You get a mat in the room, which is really good because I actually quite like to stretch after a long flight. So that was really good. There's free Nespresso coffee makers, again, great for jet lag or just for anything, and beautiful teas. I like the way Como hotels think about the products that they put in the room, like teas, so their quality. Of course, there's wine, there's fruit, and some little healthy treats to stock up on, which is beautiful. And there's really good soundproofing in this hotel. Again, so many luxury hotels don't have that. So that is an asset in the rooms. Barkies continue the sort of ritualistic, chilled feel with rain showers, nurturing Como Shambhala products. Because the same products are in every Como hotel globally, which I've really grown to really enjoy, and they're in huge sizes. So their shower gel particularly is very nurturing for dry skin, again, after a long flight. The consistency just makes everything so warmly familiar. Great water pressure. I'm someone who can complain about that. I really like, a lot of water happening in my shower. There's beautiful intuitive lighting, practical storage. It's just a really functional room and bathroom configuration in Como Metropolitan in London. Like all Como hotels, wellness is absolutely the heartbeat. And there are 6 treatment spaces. There are shiatsu massages, Thai massages, nurturing facials, cleansing baths, foot therapies, and even acupuncture can be arranged if that's what you want. I love that the gyms at Como hotels, I'm pretty sure all of them would be the same. They're 24/7. Again, I'm actually surprised at how many people wake up in the middle of the night and have a workout. I guess there's not much to do. And for a lot of people, having a workout at 1, 2, 3 in the morning can kind of exhaust them and help them get back to sleep. So these hotels, really consider the needs of their global guests. There's suspension gear, there's running trainers, there's yoga via sessions if you want them. There's TV there if you want it when you're working out. I really just enjoy the gyms at Como because they've always got the latest equipment and I use them every day that I'm there. There's even some Shambhala bites, which are really cute, which you can also find in Bali at Como Shambhala. But here in the London property, these healthy bites that just give you that bit of energy. It means that, particularly when I'm lagged, I just need a hit sometimes of something that's gluten-free and not too sweet. And I've got all of that going on there. So in terms of wellness, it's all there. Restaurants now have such a higher status within luxury hotels, and it's become so important for luxury hotels to present such fantastic restaurants. Well, that's absolutely the case here at Como Metropolitan in London. Nobu is there, and that is on the first floor, so it overlooks Hyde Park. I believe it was the first Nobu in London when it opened way back when. But I mean, what can I say about Nobu other than clean, fantastic, Japanese stroke Peruvian, raw fish, super healthy. A ton of celebrities have been there. Just Google it to see. But yeah, it's a great to have that restaurant in your own hotel. But there's a real surprise now with Le Bomb by Trivet opening. That's only been open a few months. Trivet is, of course, the 2 Michelin restaurant in London, and it was started by Johnny and Isa. Isa being the sommelier, one of the best sommeliers in the world, and just obsessed about unique wines. So I really enjoyed that restaurant. So that's on the ground floor of the hotel. I have to say, it has almost an Australian feel about it because it's very neutral, like the rest of the hotel. White walls, very sort of neutral, open spaces. It's low key. The menu again is quite Australian. There's some very unusual snacks with sort of anchovies and all sorts of duck hearts and things that I wouldn't normally go for, but that were delicious. Amazing cocktails, like really, really exceptional. But I'm a wine person and I just really enjoyed the fact that Isa just had all these different creative wines. And my daughter doesn't drink, so I was having wines by the glass. And what a joy to see quality wines by the glass. And some of them were £8, which is pretty reasonable sitting in Mayfair in London. But the menu also is very kind of Australian. There's lots of meats, salads, vegetable things. There was an amazing beetroot salad we had for entree. We had some Iberico pork, which we just loved for main meal. That's such a gourmet dish to have that's got unique fat in it. We even had some steak, beautiful salads. Yeah, it was just a really gorgeous meal. And their desserts are just getting rage about. There's a, what is it, a Campari cream caramel dessert that is really interesting and really fabulous. So yeah, and the feel, it's really interesting. There were people wandering in, having a glass of wine, and in fact staying in the hotel. That's a really lovely thing to do before going out. If you're with your partners, just sit at the bar, have a drink, and then pop out for dinner if you're going somewhere else. But of course, having dinner there is an absolute essential at least once when you're staying in the hotel. And breakfast is on the first floor in the mornings, and there's a little menu that you can order from. Again, there's some favorites that are on that menu, breakfast menu, at every Como around the world, which again is something I've grown to really like. There's a seeded toast. So it's not actually bread, it's completely gluten-free. It's made from seeds. It has avocado and cucumber on it. It is super healthy. I have that every time. And they have a buffet, but it's not this crazy buffet where you eat 1,000 pastries and just feel guilty afterwards. Everything on there is healthy. There's things such as Greek yogurt, some nuts and seeds. There's some salad there. Really clean, really healthy. I love that about Como. You can have breakfast, but not overeat. That's really important to me. Great coffees and great teas. Service at Como Metropolitan London is fantastic. I find that at every Como that I'm at. I find the staff really connect. They always remember your name and they connect with you. You know, what are you doing here? What are you and your daughter doing today? Can we suggest anything? If you're going shopping, what are you after? I think my daughter wants some gift cards, and that's something that could be quite hard to locate. And they said straight away, if you go here, they're the cheapest. Here, they're the most expensive. But these are the ones that we think are the most creative. It was really hyper personalized. I think that is something that, hotel guests globally are just wanting more and more. Um, they can certainly book restaurants, which is great because I always like to try the latest things. And we wanted a really, really fabulous bar to go to nearby. And they recommended this incredible pub style bar called the Audley, which was just packed with people. And, we could just get in, which was really easy. My point is they really tapped into that local knowledge, but they also tapped into our local knowledge and what we were after. We were only staying there for 3 days, so we really didn't want to be wasting time doing, the wrong things. We just wanted to do the things that we wanted to do and access them quickly. But yeah, the staff were just absolutely gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed them. Sustainability is something that's really important to Christina Ong, who is the founder of the Como brand. She really focuses on ethical regional sourcing in food and even she always has plant-forward menus. So there's always something there in her hotels and the restaurants within her hotels for vegans or vegetarians. But also even the wood products around the place are sourced, sustainably. So all of those things are really well thought through, and you can stay at one of her hotels feeling that sustainability is something that is prioritized. Who would I say that Como Metropolitan London is for? Well, it's certainly for anyone who likes staying in Mayfair. It's definitely great if you're jet lagged. I think Australians would really like it because it is so open, modern, and almost pseudo-Australian in style because of the light, because of the neutral tones. There's something about yellow that is really sort of uplifting as a decor color. Not many people use it, but it really does work within the modern design that is Como Metropolitan London. And the park across the road is just such a bonus. And as I said, all the luxury hotels nearby are a bonus. There's a taxi rank outside. I kind of, someone said to me, but what are the negatives of a stay there? I really can't think of one. Everything was easy. Everything was close to us. The staff were fantastic. The gym facility was excellent, as was the spa facility. And certainly having a Como massage whenever I check in is just a highlight of a stay at any of the hotels in the Como range. And the room was just beautiful, and we were quite sad to leave. I also thought, I know this is going to sound funny, but the PowerPoints were in the right place. This is a real issue for two women traveling with multiple hair straighteners, hair curlers, and all of those accessories us women love. And, being with my daughter, I think she traveled with one curler, one straightener, both on at the same time, and I had my own. So you can imagine that we were in need of quite a few PowerPoints, power boards. They just made those things seamless, and they were all in the right place. So we could actually do our makeup and do our hair as quickly as possible to get out the door and enjoy everything London had to offer. I would really recommend staying at this hotel. It's fabulous, and I think really good value for money, particularly when you compare it to other things and other hotels, luxury hotels on offer in the area.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.